I sabotaged my boyfriend's promotion, and I'd do it again. I'm sitting at my kitchen table right now, and my boyfriend of 4 years just slammed the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. He's gone, probably to his best friend's house to tell him what a vindictive, jealous girlfriend I am. Because 3 hours ago, I sent an email to his boss that cost him the promotion he's been working toward for 2 years. The promotion that would have made him the youngest senior director in his company's history. The promotion that came with a $60,000 raise and a corner office. I tanked it, deliberately. And when he asked me why, when he was crying, actually crying, asking how I could do this to him, I looked him in the eye and said, "You know exactly why." Because he does know. He just thought I'd never find out. But I did, and I don't regret what I did. Not even a little bit. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel where we explore the moral gray areas of real-life drama. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and buckle up, because today's story is polarizing. Some of you will think the OP is a hero, some will think she's a villain, and that's exactly why we need to talk about it. This is about workplace ethics, relationship betrayal, and what happens when the person you love crosses a line you can't forgive. Let's dive in. The original poster, let's call her Jordan, is 31 years old, working as a project manager at a marketing agency in Seattle. She describes herself as ambitious but fair, someone who believes in working hard and earning what you get. She has this habit of making detailed to-do lists every morning in a specific purple notebook she's been using since college, keeps a small succulent named Gerald on her desk that she talks to when stressed, and always orders the same thing at her favorite coffee shop. Oat milk latte, 1 pump vanilla, extra hot. Jordan has been with her boyfriend Marcus for 4 years. They met at a mutual friend's rooftop party. He'd impressed her by actually listening when she talked about her work instead of glazing over like most guys did. He was 32, working as a director of operations at a tech startup. Tall, confident, had this specific way of running his hand through his hair when he was thinking, collected vintage watches, even though he mostly wore an Apple Watch, and made incredible pasta carbonara from his grandmother's recipe. They'd moved in together after a year, got an apartment in Capitol Hill with exposed brick walls and a view of the Space Needle from the bathroom window. Talked about marriage, kids, the future. They were the couple their friends envied. Both successful, supportive of each other's careers, seemingly balanced. Jordan writes, "Marcus and I had what I thought was a partnership. We both worked demanding jobs, but we made it work. We'd meal prep on Sundays, have a weekly budget meeting, support each other through stressful work periods. When I was up for a promotion last year, Marcus helped me practice my presentation 20 times. When his company was going through layoffs, I helped him update his resume and build his network. We were a team, or at least I thought we were." 6 months ago, Marcus came home buzzing with excitement. "Jordan, you won't believe it. I'm being considered for Senior Director of Operations. It's huge, like career-defining huge." Jordan had been thrilled for him. "That's amazing. What's the timeline?" "They're doing a 6-month evaluation period. I have to lead a major project, prove I can handle the responsibility. If I succeed, the promotion is mine. It's basically guaranteed." "You're going to crush it." And Marcus did seem to be crushing it. He threw himself into the project. Something about streamlining supply chain operations for their biggest client. He was working late nights, some weekends. Jordan understood. Big promotions required big effort. She supported him however she could. Made sure he ate properly when he was working late. Handled more of the household responsibilities. Gave him space when he was stressed. 3 months into the evaluation period, Marcus's company hired a new junior analyst to support his project. Her name was Chloe, 26, fresh out of an MBA program, eager to prove herself. Marcus mentioned her occasionally. "Chloe finished the data analysis I needed." Chloe had a good insight about the client meeting. Jordan didn't think much of it. Marcus worked with lots of people. But then she noticed small changes. Marcus started dressing better for work. Not just professional, stylish. New shirts, cologne she didn't recognize, getting haircuts more frequently. "You look nice," Jordan would say. "Got to look the part if I want the promotion," he'd respond. He was staying later at the office. "Chloe and I are working on the presentation. Chloe found an error in the data, so we're redoing some analysis. Chloe's name was coming up a lot. Jordan told herself she wasn't the jealous type. Marcus was focused on his career. Chloe was a colleague. Jordan trusted him. Until 2 months ago, when Jordan went to Marcus's office to surprise him with dinner. It was 8 p.m. on a Thursday. Marcus had texted that he'd be working until at least 10. Jordan decided to bring him his favorite Thai food, be the supportive girlfriend. She signed in at the building's security desk, took the elevator to the fourth floor where Marcus's office was. The office was mostly dark. Most people had gone home, but she could see light coming from the conference room at the end of the hall. Jordan walked toward it, takeout bag in hand. She could hear voices, Marcus's voice, and a woman's laugh, light, flirtatious. She stopped just outside the door. It was slightly ajar. She could see inside without being seen. Marcus and Chloe were sitting close together at the conference table, very close. Chloe was leaning toward him, her hand on his arm. They were looking at a laptop screen, but the body language was all wrong for colleagues working late. Jordan watched as Chloe said something, and Marcus laughed. That specific laugh he usually reserved for when Jordan said something clever. She watched Chloe's hand move from his arm to his shoulder, watched Marcus not move away. Then she watched Marcus reach up and tuck a strand of Chloe's hair behind her ear. An intimate gesture. The kind of gesture you don't do with a work colleague. Jordan felt her stomach drop. She stepped back from the door, heart pounding. She could confront them right now. Walk in. Ask what the hell was going on. But something stopped her. She needed to think, to understand what she was seeing before reacting. She left the building, went home, threw the Thai food in the trash. When Marcus came home at 10:30, she was in bed pretending to be asleep. Over the next 2 weeks, Jordan paid attention. Really paid attention. Marcus was texting constantly. When Jordan asked who, he'd say, work stuff, or group chat with the project team. But he'd angle his phone away when typing, a tell. He started going to the gym before work, something he'd never done consistently before. Trying to be healthier, he said, but he'd come home showered with hair already dry, like he'd showered at the gym or somewhere else. One night, Jordan picked up Marcus's phone when he was in the shower. She knew his passcode. They'd always been open about that, a sign of trust. She opened his messages, found a thread with Chloe. The messages were not explicit, but inappropriate. Lots of inside jokes. Emojis, messages sent at 11 p.m. Still thinking about what you said earlier. Can't wait for tomorrow's meeting. And then, from 3 days ago, a message from Marcus to Chloe. We need to be more careful. Jordan almost saw us last week. Jordan's hands shook as she screenshot the messages, sent them to herself, deleted the evidence of sending them. When Marcus got out of the shower, Jordan was calm. I'm going to bed. Love you. Love you too, he said, kissing her forehead. The next day at work, Jordan couldn't focus. She kept looking at the screenshots. We need to be more careful. So something was happening, something they were hiding. But what exactly? Jordan didn't want to jump to conclusions. Maybe it was just an emotional affair. Flirtation that hadn't gone physical. That would be bad, but maybe forgivable. Or maybe it was more. Jordan decided she needed proof before confronting Marcus. So she did something she'd never done before. She tracked his location. Marcus had his location, sharing turned on with Jordan on his phone. Always had. Another sign of their supposed trust and transparency. Jordan started checking it obsessively. Most of the time, he was where he said he'd be, at the office during work hours, at the gym in the morning, though she noticed he was there for oddly short periods, 20 minutes some days, barely enough for a real workout. But twice over the next week, his location showed him at an address that wasn't his office. Jordan Googled it, an apartment building in Fremont, Chloe's apartment building. Jordan had heard Marcus mention once that Chloe lived in Fremont. He was going to Chloe's apartment during work hours, supposedly for client meetings or data analysis sessions. Jordan felt sick, but she still didn't confront him because part of her didn't want it to be true, and part of her was forming a plan. Stop here with me for a second. You're Jordan. You've discovered your boyfriend is having some kind of relationship with a coworker. Maybe physical, Definitely emotional. He's lying to you, going to her apartment, getting ready to receive a huge promotion that will change his career trajectory. What do you do? Confront him? Break up? Or do what Jordan did, which is something most people wouldn't even consider? Because Jordan's next move is where this story gets controversial. Some of you will cheer for her. Some of you will be horrified. Let's continue. Jordan spent 2 days researching, learning about Marcus's company structure, who reported to whom, what the promotion process involved. She learned that Marcus's promotion required approval from his boss, the VP of Operations, and the CEO, but it also required a 360 review, feedback from colleagues about Marcus's professionalism, teamwork, and ethics. The 360 review was mostly a formality. Unless someone raised serious concerns, it wouldn't block a promotion. But if someone did raise concerns, legitimate ones, the company would have to investigate before approving the promotion. Jordan thought about what she knew. Marcus and Chloe's relationship was inappropriate at best, unethical at worst. Marcus was Chloe's direct supervisor on this project. That created a power dynamic issue. If they were romantically involved, that was a violation of company policy on workplace relationships. Jordan could report it, anonymously, provide the evidence she had, let the company investigate. But would that be vindictive, petty, using his workplace against him because she was upset about their relationship? Jordan wrestled with it for days. Then something happened that made her decision easier. She was having coffee with her best friend Alexis, telling her the whole story. "Girl, you need to dump him," Alexis said immediately. "He's obviously cheating." "But I don't have proof of actual cheating, just inappropriate messages and visits to her apartment." "What more proof do you need? You want to catch them in bed?" I just, I want to be sure before I blow up a 4-year relationship." Alexis leaned back. "Okay, real talk. Even if they're not sleeping together, he's emotionally cheating. He's lying to you, hiding a relationship with another woman. That's betrayal, even if they haven't had sex." "I know, you're right. So what are you going to do?" Jordan took a breath. "I'm going to ruin his promotion." Alexis's eyes widened. "What?" "He's built this promotion on a foundation of lies and unethical behavior. If his relationship with Chloe is influencing his work, giving her preferential treatment, spending company time at her apartment, that's a legitimate professional concern. The company should know before promoting him." That's, wow, that's nuclear. He's using his professional success to justify all the time spent with her, all the late nights, the focus on this project. If he loses the promotion, the whole justification falls apart, and the company deserves to know they're promoting someone who violates their ethics policies. "You're really going to do this?" "I don't know, maybe. I need to think about it." But Jordan had already made her decision. She spent the next week gathering evidence, screenshots of messages. She'd check his phone whenever he was in the shower or asleep. Documentation of times his location showed him at Chloe's apartment during work hours. Photos she'd taken that showed him dressed up for work days when she knew Chloe would be in the office. She also did something clever. She created a fake LinkedIn profile, used it to connect with some of Marcus's colleagues at the company, started conversations about the work culture there. Through these conversations, she learned that Marcus and Chloe had been seen together outside of work, at restaurants, at a bar. One colleague mentioned, "I saw Marcus and his new analyst at that wine bar in Ballard. They seemed really close. I didn't know he and his girlfriend had broken up." So it wasn't just Jordan who'd noticed. Other people at Marcus's company had seen them together, had formed assumptions about their relationship. This made Jordan feel more justified. If colleagues were already noticing, the relationship was affecting Marcus's professional reputation. The company should be aware before promoting him into a senior leadership position. Jordan drafted an email, rewrote it 15 times, made it professional, factual, non-emotional. The email detailed Marcus's supervisory relationship with Chloe on the project, multiple instances of Marcus visiting Chloe's apartment during work hours, with dates and times based on location data, inappropriate messages between them. She attached screenshots with a note that she discovered them as Marcus's girlfriend, observations from colleagues about them being seen together socially, concern that this relationship violated company policy on workplace relationships, and supervisor-subordinate dynamics. A suggestion that the company investigate before finalizing Marcus's promotion. She addressed it to HR, the VP of Operations, and Marcus's boss. She didn't send it anonymously. She included her name, identified herself as Marcus's girlfriend, and provided her contact information. This wasn't a vindictive anonymous report. This was a formal concern from someone with direct knowledge of the situation. Jordan's finger hovered over the send button for a full 10 minutes. This would destroy Marcus's promotion, possibly damage his career, definitely end their relationship. But he'd betrayed her. He'd lied. He'd violated his company's ethics while pursuing a promotion he didn't deserve to get through unethical means. She hit send. The email went out on a Tuesday morning. Jordan sent it from her work email, adding legitimacy. She didn't tell Marcus. Went about her day normally. That evening, when Marcus came home, he seemed fine. Jordan wondered if the company had even seen the email yet. Wednesday, Marcus came home stressed. Weird day at work. HR wants to meet with me tomorrow. Probably just some routine thing about the promotion. Jordan's heart pounded. I'm sure it's nothing. Thursday evening, Marcus came home late. He looked shaken. What's wrong? Jordan asked, pretending she didn't know. HR met with me today. Someone sent them an email about me and Chloe, saying we're having an inappropriate relationship. What? Who would say that? I don't know. They wouldn't tell me who sent it. But Jordan, it's not true. Chloe and I work together. That's it. Someone's trying to sabotage my promotion. Jordan looked him in the eye. Is it not true? Because I've seen the messages, Marcus. I've seen your location at her apartment. I know something's been going on. Marcus's face went pale. You've been tracking me? You share your location with me. You always have. I didn't track you. I just noticed you were lying about where you were. I wasn't lying. I was working. Sometimes we work at her apartment because it's quieter than the office. At 9 p.m., for hours at a time? Just the two of you? It's not what you think. Then what is it, Marcus? Explain the messages. Explain the hair tucking I saw. Explain why your colleagues think you two are dating. Marcus sat down heavily on the couch. Okay. Chloe and I, we've gotten close. Too close, maybe. But we haven't done anything physical, I swear. It's just, she gets me in a way that's been really helpful for the project. We work well together. That's all. That's not all. You have feelings for her. Marcus was quiet for a long moment. Then, maybe. I don't know. The project has been intense, and we've been spending so much time together, and there's been this connection. But I haven't acted on it. I haven't cheated on you. Emotional affairs are still affairs, Marcus. I know. I should have been more careful, should have set better boundaries. But Jordan, someone sent that email to tank my promotion. Don't you think that's messed up? Don't you think that's a betrayal? Jordan felt the trap. He was turning this around, making himself the victim. Did you send the email? Marcus asked suddenly. Was it you? Jordan made a split-second decision. She could lie, could let him think it was a colleague with a grudge, could preserve some possibility of their relationship surviving this, or she could own what she did. Yes, she said, I sent it. Would you have admitted it, or would you have let him think it was someone else? Because Jordan made a choice in that moment that a lot of people wouldn't make. She owned her decision, stood by it, and what happened next is where people's opinions on this story really split. Some think Jordan was justified. Some think she went too far. Let's see what happened. Marcus stared at her. You sabotaged my promotion on purpose? I reported unethical behavior to your company. Yes. Unethical? I was working with a colleague. A colleague you have feelings for. A colleague you're supervising. A colleague you're spending inappropriate amounts of time with alone while lying to me about it. That's a violation of your company's policies, Marcus. I checked. You checked? You researched my company's policies to find a way to hurt me? I researched to understand if what you were doing was wrong, and it is. You're in a position of power over Chloe. If you're romantically involved with her, even just emotionally, that creates a conflict of interest. The company has a right to know before promoting you to senior director. So you tanked my career because you're jealous? I reported factual information to your employer because you violated their ethics policies while pursuing a promotion. That's not jealousy. That's accountability. Marcus stood up, pacing. Do you understand what you've done? This promotion was everything. My career trajectory, my salary, my reputation. You've destroyed it. You destroyed it by getting involved with Chloe, by lying to me, by violating your company's policies. I just made sure the company knew before they promoted you. They're pulling the promotion, Jordan, indefinitely. They're investigating. And even if I'm cleared, which I will be because I haven't actually done anything wrong, the damage to my reputation is done. People will always wonder, always assume I slept my way to the top or something. Did you? What? Sleep with her? No, I told you, nothing physical has happened. But something has happened. You have feelings for her. You've been emotionally cheating on me for months, and you were willing to let me keep supporting you, keep believing in you, while you pursue this connection with her. Marcus sat back down, put his head in his hands. This is insane. You sent that email out of spite. You wanted to punish me, so you went after my career. I sent that email because your company deserves to know who they're promoting, and because I'm tired of being lied to. So you end our relationship by destroying my career? You couldn't just break up with me like a normal person? I didn't end our relationship. You did. When you started something with Chloe, I just made sure you face consequences for your choices. They argued for another hour. Marcus insisted he'd done nothing wrong, that the relationship with Chloe was purely professional, with maybe some harmless flirtation. Jordan insisted that harmless flirtation with a subordinate while in a committed relationship wasn't harmless. Finally, Marcus grabbed a bag, started throwing clothes into it. Where are you going? My friend Dave's place. I can't be here right now. I need to think. Marcus, you ruined my promotion, Jordan. You went behind my back and sabotaged my career. I don't know if I can forgive that. I don't know if I can forgive you for what you did with Chloe. I didn't do anything with Chloe. You fell for her while you were with me. That's doing something. Marcus left, slamming the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. Jordan sat in the silence of their apartment and waited to feel guilty, to regret what she'd done. She didn't. Over the next week, Jordan's friends had mixed reactions. Alexis, I can't believe you actually did it. I'm kind of impressed. Also concerned, but mostly impressed. Her coworker, Sarah. That's brutal. I mean, he deserved consequences, but going after his career? That's a lot. Her sister. You did what you had to do. He was violating company policy. They needed to know. Her mother. Jordan, honey, I understand you're hurt, but this seems vindictive. You might have just ended his career over what sounds like an emotional connection that hadn't gone anywhere. Everyone had opinions. Most people were split. Half thought Jordan was justified, half thought she'd gone too far. Jordan started to doubt herself. Had she overreacted? Should she have just broken up with Marcus and let him have his promotion? Then she got a call from an unknown number. She answered. Jordan, this is Amanda Wu. I'm the VP of Operations at Marcus's company. Can we talk? Jordan's heart raced. Of course. I wanted to thank you for bringing this situation to our attention and to let you know the outcome of our investigation. You don't have to tell me. That's between you and Marcus. Actually, I want to tell you, because what we found, it's more than what you reported. Amanda explained that once they started investigating, they discovered Marcus had been falsifying some of his project hours, claiming to be working at the office when he was actually at Chloe's apartment. The company tracked badge swipes and computer logins. Marcus had been logging in remotely from Chloe's apartment and claiming office hours. That's time theft, Amanda said. He was billing the company for hours he wasn't actually working in a professional capacity. More than that, they discovered Marcus had given Chloe preferential treatment on the project. She'd been assigned the most high-profile tasks, given credit for work others had done, compensated at a higher rate than other analysts at her level. We also spoke with Chloe, Amanda continued. She admitted they'd been romantically involved for about 6 weeks. Said Marcus told her you two had broken up. She had no idea you were still together. Jordan felt her stomach drop. They were actually together? Yes. Marcus lied to Chloe about your relationship status. He's been manipulating both of you. What happens now? Marcus's promotion has been permanently revoked. We're also putting him on a performance improvement plan for the ethics violations and time theft. If he doesn't meet the standards within 90 days, he'll be terminated. Chloe is being moved to a different department to remove the supervisory conflict. After the call, Jordan sat in stunned silence. Marcus had been lying to her about the extent of the relationship and lying to Chloe, making her believe Jordan didn't exist or that they'd broken up. He'd been living a double life, and Jordan's email had exposed it. She didn't feel guilty anymore. I know what you're thinking. This seems justified now, right? Marcus wasn't just emotionally cheating. He was actually in a relationship with Chloe. He was lying to both women, stealing company time, giving preferential treatment to someone he was sleeping with. Jordan's email exposed legitimate misconduct. She was right to send it. Except, there's more to this story. Because when Marcus found out about the full investigation results, what he did next made Jordan question everything about their 4-year relationship. And what Jordan discovered about why Marcus pursued Chloe in the first place, that's the detail that changes how we see this entire story. 2 weeks after the investigation concluded, Marcus asked to meet Jordan at a coffee shop. Neutral territory. Jordan almost said no, but curiosity won. They sat across from each other, coffee cooling between them. Marcus looked terrible, like he hadn't been sleeping, had lost weight, aged years in 2 weeks. I'm not here to ask you to take me back, he said. I know that's not happening. Good, because it's not. I'm here to explain, not to justify what I did, but to explain why. Okay, Marcus took a breath. Do you remember 3 years ago when I was passed over for that director position? The one I was sure I'd get? Jordan remembered. Marcus had been devastated, spent weeks angry, talking about how he'd been overlooked, how the company didn't value him. They gave it to someone less qualified because she was a woman. Diversity hire bullshit. Jordan had tried to be supportive, while also suggesting maybe the other candidate had been qualified. Marcus hadn't wanted to hear it. That's when I started to resent my career, Marcus continued. I felt stuck, like I was working so hard and getting nowhere. And then this promotion opportunity came up. Senior director, my chance to finally get what I deserved. Okay? The project I was leading, it was high stakes. Make it or break it. I was stressed out of my mind. And then Chloe joined the team. She was smart, capable, enthusiastic. She made the work feel lighter. So you started an affair. It wasn't planned. It just happened. We were working late, spending so much time together. She admired me, looked up to me. It felt good to be seen that way, to feel valued. I valued you. I know, but you valued the person I used to be, the person before I started feeling like a failure at work. Chloe valued who I was becoming, this leader, this guy who was about to be senior director. She saw my potential, so she was an ego boost. I guess, but it was more than that. When I was with her, I didn't feel like a guy who'd been passed over for promotions. I felt like someone who was going somewhere. Jordan sipped her coffee, saying nothing. When you sent that email, I lost everything, Marcus continued. The promotion, my reputation, my relationship with you. And I was so angry, I blamed you completely. I know. You said I ruined your career out of spite. Yeah, and I believed that. But then my therapist asked me something. She asked, why did you think you needed that promotion to be valuable? Jordan raised an eyebrow. You're seeing a therapist? Company required it as part of the performance improvement plan, but it's been helpful. She's helped me see some things about myself. Like? Like I've been basing my entire self-worth on career achievement. And when that didn't go the way I wanted, I looked for validation elsewhere. From Chloe, from the idea of this promotion. I was willing to risk everything. Our relationship, my ethics, my integrity. Because I needed that external validation to feel okay about myself. That doesn't make what you did okay. I know, but it explains it. I wasn't just cheating because I was bored or because Chloe was attractive. I was looking for something to fill a hole inside me, a sense that I matter, that I'm successful, that I'm worth something. Jordan felt something shift. This wasn't the defensive, angry Marcus who'd left 2 weeks ago. This was someone who'd actually done some self-reflection. You hurt me, Jordan said quietly. You lied to me for months, made me doubt my own judgment, gaslit me when I asked questions. I know, and I'm sorry, genuinely sorry. Why are you telling me this now? Marcus looked down at his coffee. Because I realized something. When you sent that email, you didn't ruin my promotion. You saved me from myself. If I'd gotten that promotion through lies and ethics violations, I would have spent the rest of my career looking over my shoulder, wondering when someone would find out. I would have built my success on a foundation of dishonesty. That's a convenient realization after getting caught. Maybe, but it's true. And the thing is, losing the promotion made me confront why I wanted it so badly in the first place. Not because I loved the work or wanted to lead people, but because I needed the title, the money, the status to feel like I was enough. So therapy is going well, Marcus smiled weakly. Yeah, too well. I'm realizing I've been kind of a mess for a while. The promotion thing 3 years ago broke something in me, and instead of dealing with it, I just started chasing the next achievement, the next validation, until it consumed everything. They sat in silence for a moment. What are you going to do now? Jordan asked. Focus on keeping my current job, meet the requirements of the performance improvement plan, keep going to therapy, figure out who I am without the title chasing and the external validation. And Chloe, we're done. We're done the moment she found out I'd lied about us being together. She feels used, which she was. She's hurt and angry, and she should be. I manipulated her the same way I manipulated you. At least you're owning it. Took me long enough. Jordan finished her coffee. I don't forgive you, not yet, maybe not ever, but I appreciate you explaining. That's fair. Can I ask you something? Sure. Do you regret sending the email? Jordan thought about it, really thought about it. No, she said finally. What you were doing was wrong. The company deserved to know. And honestly, I think you needed the consequences. You needed something to break the pattern you were in. Even though it destroyed our relationship was already destroyed. You destroyed it when you started something with Chloe. I just made sure you didn't get rewarded for it. Marcus nodded. Yeah, you're right. They talked for another hour, not about getting back together, that wasn't on the table, but about closure, about understanding, about what they'd each learned. When they stood to leave, Marcus said, for what it's worth, you did the right thing. Sending that email. I hated you for it, but you did the right thing. I know, Jordan said, and she did. But there was one thing Marcus didn't know, one thing Jordan hadn't told him. After she'd sent the email to HR, she'd done something else, something she wasn't entirely proud of, but didn't regret either. She'd sent an anonymous email to Chloe, telling her that Marcus had a girlfriend, that they lived together, that Marcus had been lying to her about his relationship status. Jordan had included photos, her and Marcus together, recent ones, proving they were still together when Marcus had told Chloe they'd broken up. Jordan had wanted Chloe to know the truth, to understand she was being lied to and manipulated. But Jordan had also wanted Chloe to end things with Marcus, to remove the possibility of Marcus leaving Jordan for Chloe after the promotion came through. It had been strategic, calculated, maybe a little vindictive, but it had worked. Chloe had confronted Marcus, who'd had to admit he'd lied. Chloe had ended things and cooperated fully with the company investigation. If Jordan hadn't sent that email to Chloe, would the investigation have revealed the affair? Would Chloe have admitted to it? Or would Marcus have lied his way through, minimized it, kept the promotion? Jordan didn't know, but she'd made sure Chloe had the information to make her own decision. Was that manipulative? Yes. Was it justified? Jordan thought so. Marcus and I are officially broken up. We divided our stuff, handled the lease. I kept the apartment, he moved out, and we're civil when we run into each other at mutual friends events. He's still at his company, has another 8 weeks to meet the requirements of his performance improvement plan. From what I hear through mutual friends, he's actually doing well, taking the work seriously, seeing his therapist weekly, being more honest and professional. Chloe transferred to a different company entirely, decided she needed a completely fresh start. I don't blame her. People still have very different opinions about what I did. Half my friends think I'm a hero for exposing unethical behavior. The other half think I was vindictive and went too far by going after his career instead of just breaking up with him. My mom still thinks I should have handled it differently. My sister thinks I did exactly what needed to be done. Strangers on the internet have called me everything from a feminist icon to a psychopath. The reaction is split pretty much 50-50. Here's what I know. Marcus was violating company policy. He was in a relationship with a subordinate. He was lying to both of us. He was stealing company time. Those are facts, not opinions. The company had a right to know before promoting him to a senior leadership position. That's also a fact. Could I have handled it differently? Sure, I could have just broken up with him and said nothing to his company. Let him get the promotion. Let him and Chloe figure out their relationship without my interference. But why should I? Why should his unethical behavior be rewarded with a promotion and a $60,000 raise? Why should I protect him from the consequences of his choices? Some people say I should have confronted him first, given him a chance to explain before going to his employer. But I did confront him. He lied. He minimized. He tried to make me feel crazy for being suspicious. Going to HR wasn't my first move. It was my last. Do I regret it? No. Would I do it again? Yes, because here's the thing everyone seems to miss. This wasn't about revenge. Revenge would have been posting about the affair on social media, telling all our friends, trying to damage his personal relationships. This was about accountability, about making sure unethical behavior had consequences, about refusing to be complicit in someone getting rewarded for doing wrong. Marcus has grown from this. He's admitted that. He needed the wake-up call. If I'd just quietly broken up with him and let him get the promotion, he would have learned nothing. He would have continued the pattern, chasing achievements through unethical means, using people for validation, lying when it was convenient. The email I sent didn't ruin his career. It saved him from himself. That's what I tell myself anyway. Am I a villain? Maybe. Am I a hero? Probably not. Am I someone who refused to let bad behavior go unrewarded? Absolutely. And I'm okay with that. This story is fascinating because there's no clear moral answer. Jordan did something most people wouldn't do. She deliberately interfered with her boyfriend's career to punish him for relationship betrayal. That's usually considered crossing a line. But Marcus was actually violating company policy. He was in an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate. He was lying to both Jordan and Chloe. He was falsifying work hours. These weren't just personal ethical failures. They were professional ones. So was Jordan wrong to report him? Or was she doing exactly what anyone should do when they discover workplace misconduct? I think the answer depends on Jordan's motivation. If she sent that email purely for revenge, to hurt Marcus for hurting her, that's problematic. Using someone's employer as a weapon in a relationship dispute is vindictive. But if she sent it because she genuinely believed the company deserved to know who they were promoting, that's different. That's whistleblowing, not revenge. The truth is probably somewhere in between. Jordan was hurt and angry. She wanted Marcus to face consequences, but she also identified legitimate professional misconduct that his employer needed to know about. Can both things be true? Can you do the right thing for partially wrong reasons? This story makes me wonder, how well do we really know the patterns of our own lives? Have you ever had a tiny inconsistency that led to a big truth? Jordan noticed small changes in Marcus's behavior and dug deeper. She found an affair, time theft, ethics violations. If she'd ignored those inconsistencies, Marcus would have gotten the promotion through fraud and manipulation. Would that have been better? For their relationship, maybe. For Marcus's career, definitely. But for Marcus's character? For the company? For Chloe, who was being lied to? Probably not. Let me know in the comments, do you think Jordan was justified? Would you have done the same thing? Or would you have just broken up and let him get the promotion? This is one of those situations where I genuinely don't know the right answer. And I think that's okay. Not everything in life has a clear moral framework. Sometimes you just have to make a choice and live with it. Jordan made hers, and she doesn't regret it. If this story got you thinking, hit that like button and subscribe for more morally complex real-life stories. Share this with someone who loves a good debate. I guarantee it'll start one. And maybe ask yourself, if you discovered your partner was violating workplace ethics to get ahead, would you report it? Or would that be crossing a line? There's no wrong answer, but there's also no easy one.